Good morning. Not sure who that is. So we'll turn this off. Getting back to being used to teaching live on Facebook. For those of you who haven't met, this is Luna. And I'm setting up early. I believe that Optimal Sport is going to tap in on this class, and this is an impromptu class on YouTube. I can't see who joins in when you're watching, so I'm asking, and I'm going to put in the comments also that when you come in, you say hello so that at the end of class I know who has been here. And I will probably repeat this one more time. Um, so, as I said, I'm signing on a bit early today just to say hello to everybody. Um, and I may, moving forward, uh, once a week, probably Saturday mornings, do a free Zoom class for my people at Optimal, uh, because I want to be able to see you. And when I'm doing a Facebook Live, I can't see you. So I'm gonna have to, check in with everybody and see if that's something that you would be interested with, and give you the Zoom address. And some of you who may be coming in today may also take Zoom classes with me, who are out of state. You know that one of the crazy benefits of these lockdowns and starting to teach live, on Facebook or on Zoom, in person, is that my class groups have grown, and we're going to start seated on the mat today. And so, with the class groups growing, to people out of state, out of the country, back in the spring, I had people from India and England and Canada who were joining in on classes. So that was a very interesting experience for me. Um, so Saturday mornings, at Optimal, which is where I would be right now, but the Governor Wolf shut down the gyms, put out an order for the gyms and different places to close. And so Optimal is honoring that order and not and closing. Um, so I got a text already from one of the class members, oh, I miss you. I was coming to class today. I know on Thursday or Tuesday, people said to me, oh, I'll see you on Saturday. Well, so here's Saturday, so you can see me. And again, if you're just signing on or clicking in, again, please let me know in the comments that you're here. When I do live Zoom classes, I do not use any music in the background, just in case there's any questions on copyright and all of that. So at home, you can turn on your own music, whatever music it is that you like. Um, And just getting a quick last sip of coffee here before we start. So, finding yourself settled and on the mat, gently uh, coming into easy cross leg, bringing our hands to our side, lifting up, coming back down, bring our hands to our knees. And as we bring our hands to our knees, scanning within the body, coming into a gentle breath, inhaling for an 8 count, exhaling for an 8 count. Some of you may be aware of Ujjayi Pranayama, which is a slight constriction in the back of the throat. This Ujjayi Pranayama is a breath that helps keep warmth within the body. Just a quick aside here, with some of yoga practices for me are healthcare and keeping our body healthy. So the breath that warms our body from the inside out. And there are breath of fire some people do for 15 minutes a day. People all over the world get up at 4:30 in the morning and do breath of fire for 15 minutes a day. The health benefit of this is that it raises the body's temperature for 15 minutes a day. And when the body's temperature is raised, that kills parasites, viruses, and bacteria that the body doesn't need. So when we're raising our body temperature, whether it's through breath, exercise, wrapping up, going in a steam room or a sauna, those are all health practices that different people and different cultures use to raise the body's temperature to help them rid themselves of disease, parasites and bacteria and viruses. So there is a physiological reason behind doing this, and many of these practices started in time before allopathic medicine, or people who don't have access to that practice these things to keep themselves healthy and stay out of the healthcare system. And so right now we're being asked to stay home to keep ourselves safe. And so in this practice, I'm teaching ways that we can help keep ourselves safe and stay out of that allopathic healthcare system. All right, so coming in, let's come into the breath. We're inhaling, maybe an audible sigh, exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Now inhaling and exhaling through the nose, bringing our hands into heart center, universal mudra of gratitude. Inhale, bring our arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them out and around. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, out and around. Inhale, up. Exhale, out. Bring our our shoulders to our ears. Bring the shoulders back down. Hands are on our knees. Warming breath, breath of fire. So we're forcing the exhale, bringing that belly button back to the spine. And as we do that, we're working all of the organs within the abdomen and helping them clear things and be healthy as well. So let's bring our belly button back to the spine. Ready? Go. And pause. So everybody feel warmer? And I know some of you do because you've been in class and told me that you do. So imagine doing that for 15 minutes. It takes time to build up to that. I'm up to maybe 2 minutes a day. So it's good. It's healthy for that inner abdominal muscles. Bringing our knees into our chest. And give ourselves a hug. And squeeze tight. Bring our nose to our knees. Shift onto our sit bones. And be sure that we're on our sit bones and not the small of our back. Bring our hands back to our side. And point, point, flex, flex, point, point, flex, flex. Right, right, left. Right, left, right, left. Maybe you bring your hands out to the side. And gentle movement, breath, 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 breath. Reverse, and everybody's starting to feel this in the core. So it's okay to keep your hands on the mat. It's okay to keep your hands behind your thighs because this is a gentle class. But the people who have been coming to this class, we've been pushing the gentle edge. So 2 more times, 3 more times. And in yoga, remember that you only do what feels right for you. Bring the foot to the mat. That we come to a gentle feel-good edge, meaning that there's benefits. We're feeling those benefits, but only that is good. And my knees into my armpits, and I'm gently stretching the small of my back here. And 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Come on back to center. Bring our legs back in, easy cross leg. And gently bring our chin to the right shoulder as our hands are by our side. Bring our chin all the way back through center. Over to the left. And come back to center. Bring the chin to the chest. Inhale up. Open and close the mouth. In this exercise, we're stretching, working the thyroid, the muscles for swallowing that often weaken as we age. And the muscles of the chest that help us breathe. How important to keep these muscles strong. Bring the chin back down. Inhale back up. Twist over to the right. And again, remembering, and this class I'm teaching from a physiological perspective. All of the physiological benefits of all of the different stretches, poses, asana, however you choose to look at it. And so when we just do twists, it's a gentle spinal cord twist, helping the spine realign and stay straight. We're also creating some gentle internal pressure. Inhale, turn back to the other side. On all of the internal organs, again in the abdomen, which gives them a little squeeze that helps them get rid of the things that no longer serve us. So after yoga, it's important to drink lots of water. Before yoga, drink lots of water. During yoga, we're focusing on the breath that oxygenates the body, the oxygen that feeds the brain, so that we can think clearly and make healthy decisions, discernment. Inhale, bring the arms back up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands back behind. So again, as we open the chest, heart space, feeling this open, and the heart chakra, exhale, forward fold. Carolyn Meese wrote Anatomy of a Spirit, and she's a pretty intense woman. She also wrote Sacred Contracts and I'm sure many other writings, but Carolyn Meese's book, so I'm quoting her and have read the book. She looks at the 7 chakras and matches them up with the 7 sacraments, and also superimposes the Judea tree of life and their 10 rules, and matches those up with the 7 sacraments and the 7 chakras. It's very fascinating to listen to her discuss this and the beauty of all of our similarities. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bring our knees back in together. We're going to come over into tabletop and bring our fingers wide. And in tabletop, as the fingers are spread wide and the toes are down, and we're inhaling up, coming into cow, and tucking our tailbone back under and coming into cat. And, you know, the names of poses, asanas, stretches vary from the person's perspective and background. But physiologically, as we move a joint, it helps the body create the synovial fluid, or the fluid that lubricates that joint like oil. And as we are coming back and forth, and so we're moving the spine and flexing, extending. Well, the spinal cord right up in here is also connected up into the brain. And the fluid that surrounds the brain flows through the spinal cord and then back up and through the brain. So by moving the spine and flexing, extending, and gentle twisting, we're balancing that fluid in the spinal cord, but we're also balancing the fluid that surrounds our brain so that we can think clearly and allow it to do the body's fluids within the joints and the brain to do its job to keep us healthy. All right, now gently come back. If we push back onto our knees and keep our knees together as we reach out in front, head comes down, great big beautiful stretch. Inhale back up. Bring our hands under our shoulders. Lift that right arm up. And then we're going to take that hand and bring it through under the arm like we're threading a needle. Coming into a gentle side body twist. Breathing into it. Slide that left hand back. Inhale up, bring the right hand back to the mat. Lift that left hand up towards the ceiling, up to the heavens, and gently thread that needle through, breathing into it. And inhale, pick it back up. Bring our hands to the mat. Take that right foot, push back. Breathing through it. And in the breath, some people inhale life, exhale that which no longer serves them. Some people inhale love, exhale that which no longer serves them. Some people say inhale love, exhale hate. I don't even like to say that word. Other people inhale God's mercy, exhale that which no longer serves them, however you choose to think of it. But think of it as a renewal, regeneration of body, mind, and spirit. Bring the right knee back to the mat. Bring the left foot back, pushing back through the heel. Breathing into it. Bring that left knee in, a couple cat-cows. I'm setting up the stopwatch. I'm going to do dolphin plank for a full minute. But I need the stopwatch. All right, here we go. On your marks. Get set. Bring the forearms to the mat. Go. And again, as we breathe into it, this pulls Harvard Medical School, all of the sports magazines, you name it, is one of the best poses that you can do for your body. It strengthens your core. It's a gentle workout. You're using all of your muscles, holding in this plank pose, breathing into it. And we're at 48 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Breathe. Sphinx or back bend pose, whatever you want to call it. It's a nice stretch for the back. Look over either side, gentle flexion, and then gently come back to center. As you're breathing, is your abdomen pushing into the mat, or are you holding your abdomen tight and keeping it engaged so that it's not pushing into the mat? If you have heart issues, do not push your abdomen into the mat. Pushing your abdomen into the mat causes a vasovagal and can slow your heart rate. Bringing the hands down, so then you would want to engage your core so that you're doing rib cage breathing and keeping yourself safe. Breathing into it. And then bring our hands back by our side. Gently push back into tabletop. And in tabletop, maybe you hold here and do cat-cow. So people with high blood pressure, glaucoma, retinal tears, traumatic brain injuries, hold in tabletop and do your cat-cow. For those who are okay with inversion and bringing our heart above our head, step forward into downward dog. So benefits of inversions: bring the blood to the head, shoulders come back together. We're also stretching out the back of our legs and our back in this pose. We're creating arm strength, putting calcium back into the bone with resistance into the arms. This is such a healthy pose for building all of those different things and creating flexibility. Now, breathing. Gently walk our hands back to our feet. Tuck our chin and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming into standing mountain pose. And okay, I know some of you are laughing at me who have been practicing and or laughing with me for years, and so you've heard me say this before. Okay, but mountain pose, standing pose, when we have to stand in one position for a long time, the soldiers who stand at Buckingham Palace or next to the tomb of the unknown soldier, doctors and nurses in the operating rooms, know that you have to keep your legs soft. So, or speakers who are speaking in public for great lengths of time, that you need to keep your knees soft. So if you lock your legs and engage your muscles and make everything tight, 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 tight like a fist. Okay, so this is good. You're building strength, isotonic exercise, engagement, 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 but then make it soft. Exhale. So every muscle comes at ease, and the knees are soft, and we're stacking the bones over top of each other so that it's easier to stand for a longer period of time. The benefits of making the muscles like jello, in this pose is that it allows the veins and the arteries to open so the blood flows more freely through the body. So physiologically, if we're going to be standing still for a long period of time, learning to stack the bones one on top of the other, and so the muscles are doing very little work, is hugely, hugely important to allow the circulation to go through. Take a couple breaths and feel the bones stacked. It's also something I do in skiing. You stack your bones. And then feel the weight even on the front of the toes and the back of the heels, and that the weight is even between the heels and the toes, which is important in balance, which we'll be doing in a minute. And then when we bend our knees just a little bit and come back, okay, and bring our arms up overhead. So this is chair pose. It's like we're sitting in a chair, but our knees are still together. And I posted a couple of articles about squats up on my page as well. Exhale, bring the hands back behind. Those of you who take class with me know that I typically post some foreshadowing of what class is going to be about. I share my research. This is skier's pose. So here we're bringing our belly to our thighs. So we have the benefit of the belly and the thighs meeting together, which again causes compression in our abdomen that helps our abdominal organs heal. And we're creating strength in the legs. And then again, inhale up, come up into chair. Inhale all the way up, straighten the legs. Gently arch from one side. Inhale, crescent moon. Inhale back over to the other side. So we're also creating a sequence of stretches, forwards, backwards, side to side, and twisting. And so then coming back to center, and this time as we bring ourselves up, exhale, bring the hands back behind. Let's feel skiers. And for many of us, this is our edge. Maybe we bring the hands down and we come down into a narrow leg squat. And I know 95% of my gentle class can do this, although some people would consider this not gentle. But there are people who have been practicing for 20 plus years and have a decent range of motion. Now from here, gently, option one, stand straight back up. That keeps our head above our heart, and the pressure in our head is less than it would be. Or we can straighten our legs, keeping our knees soft, feeling a forward fold, but this allows blood to come to the head. Tuck the chin. So if we've had a stroke or rolling up, we want to be mindful of how many forward folds we do. Bring the shoulders back behind. Breath. Okay, now the articles I posted today were about wide leg squats. So we can bring our legs as wide as the mat, hip width apart. And I'm just going to come sideways as I do this. And my legs are hip width apart. I'm going to stack my hands. It's tough with the camera angle. And again, we're bending our knees and we're coming about halfway. And this may be your edge. This may be right where you hold. Now maybe we bring our toes out to the side, and you know what, before we do that, let's just come halfway here. Okay, now inhale, bring it all the way up, bring the arms up, out, and around. All right, now we're going to step our feet wide, Bring the heels in, bring the toes out. And when I teach kids yoga, bring the hands up. This is cloud pose. I like cloud pose. Some people call this goddess pose. Some people call it Mary in the Christian yoga. It's a good wide leg stretch. Breath, no matter what you call it. Breathing into it. I like cloud. Now, inhale, come all the way back up. All right, as we heel toe our feet in together, we're working our hip muscles. Maybe you step it together if your hips are tender. Now, let's heel toe, bring the feet back out. Bring the heels back in. Maybe bring them in halfway. And let's turn to the right. Hinge at the waist. Gentle standing pyramid. Hands come down to the block or either side of that right foot. Breathing into it. Nice standing stretch. Breath. Bring our hands together. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Bring the toes all the way over to the other side. Bring our hands back behind. Maybe get a gentle back bend before the forward fold. Again, a pose and a counter pose. Hinge at the waist and gently come forward. Breathing into it. Bring the hands together, squeeze in tight, engages our core is our middle. Again, step the feet in, and this time maybe the toes come out a little bit. So we're in between a narrow leg squat and a wide leg squat, coming into a medium wide squat, and maybe the heels come down onto the mat. This pose, stretch, however you look at it, whatever you call it, this is so important for healing our intestinal tract. There's tendons and ligaments in our pelvic floor that are only stretched when we get our knees above our hips. And this triggers the release of enzymes and different things within the body that help the intestinal tract work much better. So this is important stretch. And there's an article that I will post about it that tells of all of the physiological health benefits of this stretch for the body. Gently bring the hands down and bring the feet out in front. And straight legs out, windshield wiper. Gentle windshield wiper, the hands, the feet, back and forth, back and forth. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So for those people with high blood pressure, etc., who would not like to do standing forward folds because of the brain and the intracranial pressure, the seated forward fold is a great way to stretch the back of the legs and the back. Now, and we're stretching our shoulders as we reach forward. Now bring our shoulder blades back to the spine and open up the heart center or the center of our chest where we breathe as we hinge forward. So we're truly breathing up in the chest and feeling that forward stretch. And maybe your forward stretch is here. As long as you're feeling the stretch, that's all that matters. It's giving your body health benefits. From here, come all the way back. Gently lower down onto the mat. We're going to bring the hands down and our counter pose, back bend, gentle bridge. And you can put a block underneath of your hips, or you can use your hands and push down. This is great for the core, the sciatica, the back. We're getting a stretch in the back of the shoulders and the back of the neck. Breathing into it. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, bring the knees into the chest. Again, give ourselves a hug. Come tight as a ball. Option to roll over onto the right side, to sit and come into stand. Option to rock and roll 3 times and come up into stand. So 1, 2, and 3. And it's okay if you use your hands. So we're pushing ourselves forward through that narrow leg squat to bring ourselves all the way up into stand. Inhale, reach up. Gently stretch side to side, side to side. Because we have to do some balance poses. Balance is so good for the core. And the core, this center piece making these muscles strong, helps us compensate for everything in life. So ship, walking, balance, shift the weight to the left foot, pick up the right, bring the right knee to the right, bring our arms up into cactus arms, gentle tree. Maybe you take it deeper and bring that foot in. Maybe that foot comes all the way up into tree. Maybe traditional tree, you bring your hands overhead with your fingers folded and a tree point, the fingers pointing up to the ceiling and breathing into it. Bringing the hands back to heart center. Now I'm going to step my right foot long and come into warrior 2 pose. So gently bring that right foot over, and as I stretch my arms out for warrior 2, bring that knee out, and such a beautiful side body stretch, opening our chest, gentle twist in the back. This knees coming to the pinky toe, creating strength in the core and our arms, and some resistance in the arms here. And breathing into it. This is how the ancient warriors, back before the written word, used to train. One of their poses. And when I teach and then bring the hands back around and bring our hands up and we're coming out, warrior 1, that the warriors are the warriors of the light. They're bringing love into the world, light into the world, and helping to heal this world so we can have peace on earth. Bring our hands in, straighten that front leg. Again, our legs are wide. Let's heel toe or step that left foot over to the right. And you can envision or make breaths, pick up that left foot and bring the knee to the left. the poses, whatever you want them to be. You know, maybe you're Hindi and you know the traditional, bring that left foot up, the traditional mythology that goes along with the warrior poses. And so for you, that's what they may be. Maybe you're Catholic and you make the warrior poses your St. Michael's poses because he was the warrior and the defender of heaven. So, you know, each person's belief system can be fit into the sequences of poses and stretches, or you can simply say they don't mean anything. I'm stretching my body for the physiological benefits of my core and balance, and my hip flexors are being stretched. Breath. Step the left foot over to the left and bring our hands out wide. And if you think about it, those of you who know me, I was a hospice nurse for 9 years, and I still work with people who are on hospice or people who are avoiding hospice. And you know, when the body is no longer cooperating and doing what the mind wants it to do, if I had a shot that could fix that, I would be a millionaire. Bring that hand back around. Let's come into a frontward stretch with the legs extended back. Warrior 1, Archangel Michael 1, however you choose to name it or term it. And yes, I'm stretching it here. So I'm stretching lots of muscles in the core. Where am I going with my thought pattern? Breath. Bring the arms back in together. Step forward. And again, we're coming back to center. Pick up the heels. So as we bend the knees and pick up the heels, we're pumping the calves. Our calves are our second heart and help us even the fluid out within the body. So people who have congestive heart failure, people who have kidney issues, pumping the calves on a daily basis, whether you're simply going side to side and pumping the calves, whether you have those bicycle pedal things that just gently go round on the floor, that can help your body's circulation increase. And what we're doing right now is helping the body's circulation increase with greater force to help the kidneys perfuse better. And to help the heart with circulating the blood, to help get rid of that which no longer serves us, excess fluid. And then, we rehydrate with water. So we're creating a cleansing of our system with water. And movement is key to that. Come on back to center. Shift the weight to the left foot and pick up the right knee. I'm pushing into my palms. I'm engaging the core. Again, maybe I can get that right knee up above my hip. It's at a different angle, but it creates good benefits physiologically in the body. Bring that right foot back down. Shift the weight to the right foot. Pick up that left knee. And bring that left foot back to the mat. I'm bringing my feet wide and I'm gently coming from side to side, releasing out, releasing out. So, breath. The first stretch that I often see done when you say to somebody, okay, we need to stretch before we run or after we ride our bike, is people will reach back and grab their foot and, stretch. Okay, in yoga, that's called pencil point. So I'm going to bring my left arm up. I'm being mindful. I'm stacking my bones, shift the weight to the left foot, bending my right leg. Now maybe I'm reaching for that right leg, but by making the movement slow with the breath and being in control of the movement, and I'm getting a great quad stretch here. Breathing into it. Sometimes I do this on the mat. If you're not reaching your ankle, that's okay. Remember, you take it to your edge where you feel safe. Breathing into it. And bring that right foot back down. Shake it side to side, side to side. Getting the circulation going. Feeling the muscles come at ease. Military terms, right? You come to attention, engagement of the muscles. At ease, the knees come soft and we step separately apart. Okay, plant that right foot. Shift the weight to the right leg. Bring the right arm up, bend the left knee, and maybe we're reaching. Maybe that heel comes all the way into the gluteus. And we breathe into it. And bring that left foot back to the mat. And again, gently come from side to side and release it out, shake it out. Maybe I miss my auntie when I go to New Orleans. I do my little bit of Tai Chi. The gentle step from side to side and gently. And I would need, it's been way too long, I'm out of practice. I'm going to have to start watching some Tai Chi videos so we can intertwine just a little bit of that gentle movement, but being very conscious of how we're moving our body. In nursing in the medical field, there's a term of conservation of energy. And, yoga trains the mind and the body to know how to conserve our energy and move in the most concise way, in the most productive way. That's one of the biggest benefits to me for yoga. All right, enough chatter. Bring my feet, heels in, toes out, come all the way back down. I'm coming back through a wide leg squat. Maybe for you, your wide leg squat is here, and that's okay. And since this is a gentle class, if you're all the way down, you can sit back on your backside and be seated. In a gentle class, we're going to bring ourselves down, come down on our knees, so we're coming through tabletop and being conscious of our movements and how we get around, and then bring the feet out to the side so that our legs can come out in front. And maybe we can lift our own body weight and lift up our hips. Okay, this is stretching, giving us strength, resistance, and coming back down. Next Saturday, I'm going to add the soup cans in because when we're staying at home more than going out, and I promise you I'll talk less. All right, bring our hands back in, bend the knees. I think somebody told me the other day, come forward. It's a passage in Solomon about holding your tongue. Come on all the way back down. And gently bring our hands to the mat and inhale up, breathing into it. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, bring our knees into our armpits. Grab our heels, or the outside of our feet, the inside. Maybe you come deeper. Maybe you hold on to your big toes. And as our knees are coming to the armpits, soles of the feet up to the ceiling, feel the small of your back gently pressing into the mat and maybe rocking from side to side. So your low back is getting just a little bit of pressure relief and all of the benefits of that. Breath. Now straighten our legs up the wall. This is one of the gentlest of inversions. Maybe you have a wall and really bring your feet up the wall. Maybe you hold right here with me. Gently bend the knees. Give ourselves a hug. Stretch the legs out onto the mat. Great big audible sigh, Savasana meditation. And so as you're spread on the mat and have your palms up or your palms down, and some of you have heard me say this before and some of you have not. In this meditation, people who teach traditional ancient yogi will say, let everything go. Empty the mind of thoughts. Allow the breath to go on automatic pilot and every muscle to get absolutely soft. And so some people say, well, that's where we get, my sister-in-law's been yapping in my ear, tripped up and, hear things that we shouldn't. Well, for me, that's when I get very quiet and I shut my own mind off. And that's when I listen for God's voice. And, it was in Savasana meditation that I heard letting go of that which no longer serves me, what no longer serves me. And the answer of God's voice told me, quit smoking. And I did. That was in 2006. So when we get quiet within ourselves and we stop the chattering, and I know I'm chattering today quite a bit, but allowing ourselves to be quiet is when we can listen. When we can listen for God or for love, or everybody has a different belief. My belief is God. Wiggling our fingers and toes. Stretching our arms up overhead. Bringing our knees into our chest and giving ourselves a hug. And gently rock and roll 3 times. Coming up into easy cross leg. From a physiological standpoint, just to be consistent with my theme of the day, Savasana, flat out meditation, allowing all of the muscles to become at ease, physiologically is the recovery phase of exercise. And that's where the body regroups and regenerates itself. The calcium goes into the bones, and this is an oversimplification. Please, doctors, nurses who are out there know that I'm generalizing, and this is general oversimplification of the physiology of recovery because it's much more complex than that. But so the ancient yogis incorporated recovery into that. Bringing our hands to heart center, universal form of prayer. I am grateful for each and every one of you. I am grateful for, you fill in the blank. I am grateful for. May the light within me salute the light within you. And when we are at this place, we are all the same. Namaste. Be happy, safe, and healthy until we meet again. Thank you for practicing with me today, and stay safe and keep working.